episode of The Budgeted Collector. Grab your bow and arrow as we take a look at Marvel Now's Diamond Select Hawkeye action figure. The character Hawkeye underwent a makeover back in 2012 when writer Matt Fraction and illustrator David Aja came up with the new design and concept for the character separate from the Avengers. The mold of the figure itself is very much so in line with the comics. One of my biggest issues I have with Marvel Select toys in general, though, is that they tend to over-exaggerate the character's muscles. This figure, its biceps are much larger than what you would see in the comic. The Hawkeye in the comic is a very thin-framed individual and not overly muscular or over-exaggerated. As far as likeness goes, the figure is on point. The face sculpt, as well as the overall design, is very reminiscent of what you find in the Marvel Now comic line. Outside of the over-exaggeration in certain aspects of this toy, the figure itself looks spot on with the comic book. The head sculpt, the face is very much so in line with the comic, as well as just everything else that is on this toy. As far as accessories go, Diamond Select knocked this one out of the park. The figure comes with the full-size bow, 6 loose arrows that Hawkeye can hold in his hand and you can pose him to look great with. It comes with an additional head sculpt, a right hand sculpt, and this lovely little crossbow gun that comes apart and fits in the holster. The detail on each one of these pieces is absolutely fantastic. It is well representative of what the comic is. But there's one additional accessory that I absolutely love, and that is Pizza Dog. That's right, Hawkeye's best friend who he saves in the first issue is included with this toy. Having Pizza Dog as part of this toy just takes it to a whole nother level. Because not only do you have these accessories that Hawkeye can hold, as well as the additional head sculpt, but you have a whole nother little toy that comes along with it. Posability on this toy is great. The joints are slightly stiff, but that's not an issue here, because you can pose Hawkeye like so with the bow and the arrow up and not feel like the arm is going to start falling down. It is well constructed and just has a good solid look and feeling to it. The figure itself stands at 7 inches tall, so it's a great display item because it's not too small to where it gets overlooked, but it's the perfect size to put up against other toys and action figures. Hawkeye retails for $24.99, but the biggest issue, it's a Disney Store exclusive. Since Disney purchased Marvel, they've been releasing more and more exclusive toys in their stores only. He's a little bit hard to find now, which is disappointing because it's such a great figure. I would easily say this figure is worth $30 to $35 because of all the accessories and the quality. Outside of the figure sculpt being slightly overly buff, it is very detailed and accurate to the Marvel Now Hawkeye comic. This figure is fantastic and a great addition to any budgeted collection. That's all the time we have this week. Please join me next week as I take a look at the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series action figure line. Follow me on Twitter @Budget Collector and on Instagram @The Budgeted Collector. Support your local comic book stores and be passionate about the things you love.